Hey y'all, it's CherokeeStarfish. I'm glad you're here. Welcome or welcome back to Myst, the 2021 remake, optimized for VR, although we are not playing VR. I am using a keyboard and mouse, and so far it has been a blast. Getting to free roam around the island like this, explore all of these puzzles that I haven't seen in like 30 years, like goodness gracious. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for 40 months, Trans. Thank you for the resub. Wow. Yes, you were grievously mistaken. I'm glad that you didn't miss the stream. Once again, let's go ahead and get it all out of our systems early. But so last time, we did the, what's it called? Trees. Big trees. Tree houses. The Channelwood Age. There we go. And, the Mechanical Age. Over there. Oh, hello. Well, I missed this last time. Catherine, I've left for you a message of utmost importance in our four-chamber beside the dock. Enter the number of marker switches on the island, or on this island, into the imager to retrieve the message. Yours, Atris. Oh, right. I forgot that this was even, like, a thing. Okay, well. So, we have a couple more ages left. There is the Stone Ship Age. And I forget what it's called. The Selenite Age or something like that, or the Celestial Age. Anyway, the spaceship. 2 ships. We do give 2 ships here on this channel. So, you can decide, since we don't have to do them in a specific order, which you would like to see in what order. Let me know. And first, we are going to... we're going to go down a level and actually take the stairs. All the way to the bottom of the docks. So these are the marker switches. We turn those on to activate the different locations or points of interest around the island on the map in the library. This is the chamber that Atris was talking about. We'll go in here and check out his message from Catherine. Oh, yes, I just heard about Hero's Olden Age earlier today, like literally 2 or 3 hours ago. And yeah, it's supposed to take place on Jadame, which is the continent where Might and Magic 8 happened. And they've never done a Heroes game set there. Ubisoft is publishing it, but they are not developing it, and actually from the teaser trailer that I saw, it looks like they've given it over to a studio who understands the assignment. Because it kind of puts me in the mind of Songs of Conquest, like it looks like Heroes 3, but made with today's technology, which I really appreciate. So I am very, very excited. Please wishlist that on Steam. Oh, man. Okay, so let's see. Yes, the imager. So, apologies for any wonkiness with the camera. Again, I am using a mouse and not a VR set, so if I look around a little too much for your liking, sorry. Okay, settings for the dimensional imager. Topographical extrusion test, 40. Marker switch diagram, 47. Water turbulent pool, 67. So, 67, that is, of course, this. Basically the screensaver. Okay, let's do 40. Here we are. Check it out. Pretty cool. Gives us a very basic map of the island. '47 should be the marker switch diagram. Exactly what it says. Shows you the marker switches in 3D. And finally, so the number of marker switches. We turned all of those on, so should be... Oh, wait a minute. Actually, that is incorrect. Yes, that is correct.
Catherine, my love, I have to leave quickly. Something terrible has happened. It's hard for me to believe. Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine, it's one of our sons. I suspect Agamemnon, but I shouldn't leap to conclusions. I'll find him and Cirrus as well. Oh, I should have known better than to have left my library unchecked for so long. Well, I've removed the remaining undamaged books from the library and placed them in their places of protection. You shouldn't have to use the books until I return, but if you've forgotten the access keys, remember the tower rotation. Oh, and don't worry, Catherine. Everything will be fine. I'll see you shortly. Oh, and erase this message after you've viewed it, just to be safe.
There we go. So a little bit more of the story, which may have been somewhat confusing last time. So Atris's library, at the center of the island, contains a number of books that, using the central Myst book, he was able to travel to or possibly create other worlds. I don't know if I was ever 100% clear on that. I think he might have been creating them, maybe, by writing the books, although I'm not sure. And then, of course, we come in here, and you notice that these books are all damaged. See, like, this looks like the Channelwood book, right? I have called this age Channelwood. It is a very different world. Though it is exactly how I imagined it, it is still amazing to see it with my own eyes. Water covers this age as far as I can see, except for a small rocky island. Elsewhere there are only trees, which grow directly out of the water. A myriad of thin wooden passageways are built just above the water and disappear into the forest. I assume they were built some time ago, for they appear aged. So he found this one. I am eager to discover more about this land and its people, but I have arrived here late, and I must rest. I was awakened this morning by strange noises coming from a pathway adjacent to the one on which I had slept. I saw a group of monkey-like people heading in my direction. They had not seen me yet. I did not feel threatened by their presence. Their response to me was one that I would have never expected. After staring at me for a short time, they fell to their knees and began what appeared to be some sort of ceremonial worship. I tried to speak to them, but they did not understand my language. Instead, they indicated through enthusiastic hand motions that I was to follow them. As we walked, I began to notice that the waters below us were changing colors. Slowly, subtly, they would change from deep blue to muddy orange, then from muddy orange to beautifully clear. I was so intrigued by the water, I hardly noticed that we had arrived at a ladder. Climbing the ladder led us to their village, which is about 10 meters above the water, and can only be reached by rope ladders that stretch from the lower paths to the village level approximately halfway up the grand trees. It is very interesting watching these people carry out their daily tasks. Even after watching them for hours, I did not understand exactly what they were doing. At sunset, they motioned for me to follow them. I followed the creatures to the doorway of an enormous hut. Strangely, once inside, I found that the hut appeared even larger than it had from the outside. The walls were garnished with bright metals, and in the center of the hut sat the leader of these people. At least, he appeared to be their leader, for he sat a meter off the floor in a thick throne. Guards surrounded the strong creature, who was dressed in many exotic, colorful fabrics. Next to the leader sat a very old human. At least, to some extent, he appears human. His hair, which was only on his face and head, was completely gray, almost white, and hung very long around his frail body. His thin head hung limply by an almost grotesque neck that could not hold its head up to look at me. That could have been written better. But what a surprise, this creature could speak my language. Shortly thereafter, I was given a bed with some hand motions that looked to be telling me to go to sleep. I look forward to learning more. As I suspected, the ancient creature is a human, but he is old beyond his own reckoning and seems almost insane. However, the tree dwellers almost revere him as a god. They are treating me now in the same fashion, which makes me feel very uncomfortable. It is almost impossible to understand this old man. His voice is feeble but wild. He has adopted much of the language of the tree dwellers, and himself told me he had not spoken our own tongue in ages. He attempted to explain to me the history of this place. The following is my best translation of what he has told me. Many years ago, the humans and tree dwellers lived together in this place, which was then a vast island. They interacted very little. The humans dwelt on the ground, and the tree dwellers lived high above them. Occasionally, the island was disturbed by mysterious rumblings, which happened randomly, some sort of tectonic or volcanic action, I suspect. The sometimes slight, sometimes heavy tremors would only last a short time. Then they would stop, allowing everything to return to normal. One day, things changed. The rumbling began and grew quickly to unprecedented levels. Soon it became apparent that the entire island was sinking slowly into the ocean around them. Many of the humans died that day, but not before sacrificing themselves in order to stop the sinking of the island. The humans who lived through this catastrophe moved into the trees, where they gradually died out, maybe because they were unequipped for such an environment, but I am not sure. This is the story the old man communicated to me, although many details are very unclear in my mind. I'm especially confused as to how the humans saved the island from completely sinking. In fact, I doubt the accuracy of that part of the story. The island must have stopped on its own. Yet, the old man believes in the truth of the story as if he had been there, and the tree dwellers worship him, and apparently all humans, as if he/they were heroes or gods. The old man ended our conversation today with an event which I will never forget. He began gripping my hands tightly, murmuring something about rest and a sleep. He then said, "We had expected you to come sooner." His actions filled me with a sort of immediate dread. With much effort, he stood to his feet. I tried to help, but he pushed me away with more force than I imagined his frail body contained. The tree dwellers quietly surrounded him with very solemn faces, then kneeled before him. He walked to each and placed his hand on their heads. All the while he murmured words which I did not understand. Finally, he turned to me and smiled. Then he closed his eyes and walked out the door, and off of the narrow path high in the trees. The tree dwellers were silent. They began a procession down the nearest rope ladder. As I was descending, I saw several of them pick up the body he had fallen onto a lower level of walkway, and carry it away. He was lain down at the dead end of a short pier-like structure. With the use of some potion, one of the tree creatures lit the pier on fire, and I watched as the flames engulfed him. As this strange funeral proceeded, the waters around the pier changed to dull green. This morning I awoke, finding it hard to even believe the previous evening's events. The water is a dull green for as far as I can see now. For some reason, the water no longer shifts color. As I wander throughout the pathways, the creatures watch me, curious to see what I will do next. They are constantly offering me strange objects of affection. I even found food outside the doorway to the room in which I had slept. This is a unique race of beings. I hope to learn their language soon so that I may learn more from them. Alright. So now you can see that there's like different colors of ink, right? I've lived on this world for 3 months off and on, and the tree dwellers have shown great hospitality. I'm even beginning to learn bits of their language. I've decided to return home for an extended stay with my loving wife and my sons, and hopefully return with them. However, I am sure Catherine will once again refuse. I think this age would be a wonderful experience for them all, and I at least look forward to how Cirrus and Achenar will react to its curious inhabitants. Catherine is staying behind as expected. My sons have returned with me, and they enjoy this age very much. They get along very well with the tree dwellers and are picking up their language surprisingly fast. I have no doubt that it will not be too long until they can speak with the tree dwellers much better than myself. I'm leaving tomorrow to check on Osmoyan Age. Cirrus has suggested that I allow him and his brother to stay. Though the idea unsettles me, I know the boys are growing up rapidly. The hospitality of these creatures is such that I could think of no better place to leave them alone for a short while, so I will consent to their request. I warned the boys not to take advantage of the respect the tree dwellers have for their ideas. They seem to understand my warning, and I have faith they will follow it. Much to my dismay, upon arriving in Everdunes, I learned that Pran and her people are continuing to be menaced by the Hoktik. I fear for their survival, and plan on returning to her shortly after checking on Cirrus and Akinar here. See Everdune's journal for more information. After watching Cirrus and Akinar, I see they are handling things very well, and I think I can put to rest any fears about leaving them in Channelwood again. Oh, and for a little longer time. Then, the tree dwellers seem slightly distressed that I am leaving, but are happy that Cirrus and Akinar are staying behind again. I've been gone for over 3 days and have been to many different places. I had to tell Cirrus and Akinar about Pran's death today, and they were visibly shaken, although they only remembered her from their childhood. Catherine has suggested that it would be wise for Cirrus and Akinar to leave Channelwood for a while, and I have to agree. They will be returning with me when I leave again. I have told my sons that they will be returning with me in 2 days. They spent the entire night telling me of an adventure they experienced in my absence, and it was rather remarkable. It seems they constructed a boat with the creatures and traveled some ways out into the surrounding waters. I enjoy hearing them talk excitedly of their adventures, and am reminded of my own adventures as a child. I finally understand why the tree dwellers have been giving me their many inks. That's why the different colors, and insisting I write with them. Looking through some of my past entries, I see now that the inks have changed from the black I thought they were to various different colors. I have shown some of the creatures my journal, and they laughed and howled. I did not know they had such a sense of humor. Even now, as I look through this very colorful journal, I cannot help but laugh myself. We will be returning tomorrow, so my sons are with the creatures for the last night here. They have told me they would like to come to Channelwood again, and also asked if they can visit some other ages alone. Though I will have to think over their request, I believe they have proven to me that they are trustworthy and responsible. Catherine will also have to help me decide whether they are ready for travel alone. For now, I must give my farewells to the creatures, for I do not know how long it will be until I visit this age again. So yeah, now you can see like a diagram of the walkways that we explored when we were there. Save this. Okay, so you'll see some of them definitely stick out more than others. What's this one? Ah, the mechanical age. Here we go. Before arriving in this age, I was determined that it would be a journey to a world very different from my previous adventures, and it was. The sky here is dark and gray, and incessantly displays flashes of lightning in the distance. I met a very old man with a long beard and hair that hangs to his waist. He is very feeble, and has trouble even moving. He keeps meeting these old men that are falling apart. This man has obviously been through many things in this strange world, and I have learned many things from him. He's told me an interesting story of this world's history. Years ago, he told me, there was a beautiful city that rose up out of the water. It housed many people inside its walls, and the people had everything they wished for. The city was surrounded by 3 high hills which rose higher than the city. On the east hill rested a large lookout post. The people of the city had constructed the post expecting visitors to arrive from that direction. People had no means of traveling on the water, which forced them to merely wait for friend or foe. As time passed, friendly visitors brought rumors of an enemy that existed beyond the horizon. The people grew fearful, yet nothing happened. One day, the usually sunny sky became dark as night, and black ships appeared on the horizon. The lookout post's attempts at peace were turned away, and the sentries there were easily overwhelmed. The ships continued to wreak havoc on the city, apparently destroying everyone and everything. After the foundations of the city were destroyed, it sunk deep into the ocean, and only the lookout post remained. The black ships sailed away. The man continued to say that 8 people had hidden and managed to survive through the attack. In the 9 years since the attack, 2 of the survivors had died. He also said that it was rumored that 10 years from the attack, the enemy would return to finish the destruction they had started so long ago. I have decided, since hearing the man's story, it would be admirable to save this civilization and stop this enemy's plan of destruction. I am excited about the adventure that awaits me, and an idea sparked in my mind to provide the needed defense for these people. I met the remaining survivors today, and I've begun work on a plan for protection. And you can see this is the fortress we were in. After a short absence, I've returned to this age with my 2 sons. They have, as of yet, traveled rarely with me, and they are understandably excited to be here. They have grown considerably since Everdunes, and it is already obvious to me that they will be a great help this time, instead of the nuisance they have been in the past. All 3 of us, along with 4 of the healthier survivors, began construction today. We are building upon the old city's ruins, which will provide a perfect foundation for our fortress. My sons have been spending much of their spare time on the South Island, where most of my materials are stored. I am very pleased with their intelligence, and their creativity is refreshing to see as they work on some small projects of their own. It has been over 4 months now, and construction is going well. My sons love the world, except for its gray sky, which they detest, and tell me many times they wish it were like the blue sky in Myst. The old man I first talked to tells me the enemy is due in 4 months. I feel we will be ready when the time comes. The man reminds me of Emmett in many ways, and I often wonder how Emmett and his people are doing. I like that there are other characters sort of sprinkled in that you don't get to meet. It does make the world feel a little bit more alive, even though you're only looking at it through Atris's memories. It has been 6 months of work, and we have finally finished the fortress. It rests between the 3 hills, which are now only islands due to a rising water level that the people experienced after the attack. Inside the fortress, I've designed a most intriguing device. It makes use of a technology called holography. I began experimenting with on my visits to Aspermere. It will be working in a couple of days after I compensate for some small miscalculations. This holographic device will enable the survivors to learn to use the fortress. So that is the device with the 2 levers and the display that showed us, like, how to turn the fortress around, right? The enemy is due to come soon, and I trust the fortress will provide sufficient protection for all of us. And there we go. The track, so it can turn. Of course, there's where we came in and where we left. There's the, I guess that's the South Island. So this would be the lookout tower. The black ships have come. Their attack was substantial. Their weapons have been stopped, and it appears they have turned away in defeat. I could not help but smile as I watched the boats leave. Last night we had a small celebration, and the old survivors danced their dances of old. My sons did not understand why the sky had not turned back to its original blue. The old man told them that the storms would never end until the enemy was destroyed. I assured my sons that a blue sky was not worth the risk of death, and they seemed to hear me. I have had a healthy adventure and have begun work on a new book. Once again, I must leave a familiar age in search of a new universe I have begun. Right there, see, that's why it's, like, ambiguous. But first I will have an extended time with my Catherine, whom I miss very much. I must also return to the people of the Tide. I believe in my travels I found a substance that will ease the pain of their bone ailments that they have long endured. I hope to return to the mechanical age one day and find the population growing and my fortress still strong. Though the sky may always be black, I am confident the people here feel a heavier darkness has been lifted from their shoulders. So, as you can see, each of these has got a different kind of like story to go with them, where it's not clear if Atris maybe created these worlds by writing the books, or more likely he found them by writing the books. Because he said, like, a new universe that he has begun. So maybe, like, he was using the magic of the original Myst book, the power that it has, to craft these stories, which then took on a life of their own. It's not exactly clear. So, oops. I hit escape instead of space. So, each of the ages has an associated journal. This one is actually a clue. Oh, right, which we will need, in fact. It has different patterns that you can put into that grid on the inside of the fireplace wall when it comes down. And there is something later on that indicates which of the patterns is correct. I don't remember off the top of my head which one it is, so this way we've got all of them. Although, as you can see, there are a lot. Like a lot. There's so many. Oh my gosh, and I'm remembering too that, like, this is set on the classic Myst setting. How many are there? Jeez. So, like, one of these is going to be correct and it's a predictable one, but it makes me wonder what it would be like if you are playing on, nice. If you are playing on, like, the randomized mode. Like, are all of these going to be different puzzles? Photo album is full. Delete pictures to make more room. Oh, okay. Well, I think there's 100 puzzles. Oh, there's more than... Wow. So in randomized mode, like, could it be any of these? And then maybe, like, one is randomly picked, and the clue that tells you which one is correct is also randomized and, like, tied to the chosen puzzle or configuration? Or is it like maybe all of these are randomly generated every time that you start a new game, and then one of them is picked? Because this is a lot. 300. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay.
Got another one.
I'm gonna have to... yes. Yes, it is a soul-destroying book. Can I select more than one of these? No. Okay, well here. We're done with the other ones. There, because I cannot take pictures of all of them, obviously. Okay, so... Now, shall we go to the Stone Ship Age, or... What is this one called? The Selenitic Age? Is that... that sounds right, actually. Yes, the Selenitic Age of Myst. Alright, then we shall read this one next. I actually forgot you could click on these books entirely until I found that note. Otherwise, I would have read these before we went to the different ages in the first stream. I have returned to a different world than the one I left only 3 months ago. It has been transformed into a barren, desert land with only gigantic craters scattered across the land to provide variety. Strangely enough, the small, grassy hill where I spent my first night remains exactly the way I found it. Apparently, the falling meteors did not hit this area, leaving an oasis in the midst of this horrible desolation. The hot wind I remember has turned into a rather pleasant breeze, which is at least one improvement. I fear it is the only improvement. The magnificent lake I saw on my first visit is now completely dried up. However, another lake now exists and appears to be quite a bit larger. I assume one of the falling meteors created this lake due to its circular shape and the jutting rock that grows out of the center of the lake. The rest of this world seems like desert, although I will verify that statement with closer inspection. Though this world has little visual excitement to offer, it offers much to the ears. Sounds constantly flow through my ears, and I have found a few of them, found where a few of them originate. It seems as Catherine says, I do find beauty in everything. Last night I was awakened by a horrible hissing. I was sweating, and the heat was so intense that I immediately dipped my head in a nearby stream to cool it down. The hot breezes had returned along with a low roar from the ground. I walked a short distance to observe some red flames shooting up from the earth. Suddenly the ground began to crack and a huge chasm opened. The chasm continued to grow until it was far too wide to cross. Then the tumult subsided, leaving only a dull roar. I have decided, however, I can use the chasm to my advantage. Perhaps the heat from it can be harnessed. So here we go. A diagram that may come in handy soon. Even as the chasm has ripped into the surface of this world, it has opened up a whole new world to explore. Although uncomfortably hot, I found it possible to reach a cave in the chasm that had been created, and have now explored deep into the crust of this planet. I found a vast underground cave system that will take many years to map and explore. I will also look for a safer way to reach the underground than through the chasm wall. This age seems to change on its own, so I feel I should leave again and see if things are different when I return. It is also important that I check on Cirrus and Akinar and make sure everything is going along well. When I return, I also hope to bring back some tools I will need for my plans to explore the underground. The abundance of raw materials here is beginning to amaze me. I have returned with some of the complex tools I knew I would be needing. I assumed I would have to return for more basic materials. However, it seems as though I will be able to find everything I need here. Of course, iron is abundant, but I've also found titanium occurring naturally. I am all the more excited to begin work. Everything is set, and I look forward to tomorrow. My raw materials are all here. I think I will be able to have most of my additions to this age completed within 1 year. I so love working with my hands, whether writing or building. And then, of course, this fades away. You can't tell what it says. I began today on the bridge, and although something... something, the magnetic idea will work well, and I have decided to something. 3 meters is not enough support for the beams, although it seemed something. Amazingly strong. There's the ship. Has to be one of my most prized inventions. I am extremely... could never have imagined it to come together quite as... I doubt... could possibly work with 14 instead of 8. Completely fatigued. I'm so happy to have completed tomorrow. I am leaving today in order to bring back Cirrus and Akinar. I have left them alone in Channelwood. I believe they will enjoy all there is to see here. The age seems to have stabilized. I believe the meteor set off a period of volcanic activity by piercing into the shallow crust, but the tremors have become few. I have just noticed that a large amount of this journal has curiously vanished from the very pages on which I wrote over the last 18 months. Fortunately, I have copied many of my construction notes in another journal. I do not understand the many mysteries of this world, but I trust I will discover logical answers to my questions. I have a feeling that many of my questions can be answered in another age to which I hope to travel soon. But, for now, I must simply accept this world's mysteries and take pride in my accomplishments. Okay, we will definitely need that. And there is a map. Pretty cool. Okay, so... now... on to the Selenitic Age. So this is the one where you can see that there's power running to it, right? And we need to establish a connection from the generator over here. Which I stuck my head in here briefly during the first stream. I like how the music is based on specific locations. That's so cool. Oh, wait a minute, actually. Power to ship, generator switches, right. So it's 1 to 5 vertically and then 6 to 10. So this is how much power goes to the ship. These are the generator switches. Right. Got to go back up here. And we need to turn the tower to the Selenitic Age so that we know how much voltage the ship needs, because I do not remember that number. It's been 30 years, I don't remember. Oh, this first. There we go. Okay. Yes, it's juicing time. Time for juice. Juice. I could always go for some juice. Oh, safety first. Second floor, time travel, interdimensional bridges, clues to mysteries, and soft background music. Okay, so 59 volts. Should be the only clue that we need. Hello. Down, thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes, for that note. I will need it. Yeah, if you had to do these puzzles every single time that you just wanted to go, like, anywhere, then, I mean, yeah, I'd get frustrated pretty quick, too. Okay. Now comes the part that I always banged my head against as a kid. Which is, we have to turn on the correct generators in order to get 59 volts. And I don't remember which ones those are. Okay, okay, so generator 1 is 10. 2 is 7. 3, so that's going to be 8. Okay, that's going to be 16. 5. 1. Okay. Okay, so that is 2. And that's where it, like, overcharges. Alright, see, this is why it's frustrating, because there is somewhere... Right. Lord. Who knows? It's a good question, though. Where are they? Here it is. If you go over and the generators fizzle out, then you have to reset the puzzle by flipping these breaker switches. And you have to do it every time. Okay. I think that's it. There's not another one. Is there? No, okay. I think it's just the 2. Down, down into the threatening atmospheric music. Into the ambiance of goblin mining. Okay, this time I'm going to Save. So that if I screw it up, I can just load it. Yes, down, down to Goblin Town. You go, my lad. Ho, ho, my lad. Okay, so let's see. This is 22. Okay, 19. And this is 9. Alright, so what did we need? Was it 59 volts you said, right? Okay, so if we do, so that's 10. This was 9, wasn't it? No. Okay, so 1 is 10. 7. 6. And yeah, 1 and 9. So that makes 29. Let's see, that's 1. That means this one's 2. Go. And then we have... There we go. That should be it. 59 volts. Now, if we have done it correctly, the door of the spaceship should open. Now you can hear electricity humming along the lines too. There we go.
Success.
We done did do it. Yes. Success indeed. So let's do another save here. Yes, I noticed that. The chat is indeed delayed for some reason. I'm not entirely certain why. Let me see if I can adjust that. Let me try this. There we go. Let's see how it is now. It does erase your messages, unfortunately, but that's okay. I can read it in more than one place. There we go. Yes, it's the time dilation. Okay, that's much better, I think. Okay, oh boy. So here is some sliders. God, this is my least favorite puzzle in the game. Okay, so here's our photo album. Right, 1, 2. Yeah, I've heard that a lot of people have trouble with this specific puzzle, and I don't know how much they've improved it in this remake, because if it's based on the classic Myst experience, then it's not really gonna, like, you know, be any different. Okay, so that is C1, C2, D sharp, F1 and A sharp? Right? So, let's zoom in here and, okay, so that should be, I believe. Yes, okay, and it actually does tell you, though. This is the subtitles. I love it. Treasure hunt. Ooh. Oh, well, now we'll have to be on a hunt. We'll have to go on a treasure hunt to find that. That sounds fascinating, actually. It's great because I actually just discovered another old point-and-click adventure game that I had never heard of before called Deja Vu the other day, thanks to Flame Fatales on Games Done Quick. So, Candle Quotient, yeah, for real. So what you have to do now is, once you know the notes, you have to replicate them over here. Oh, they did make it so much easier. Oh my god. Oh my god, because it tells you on the subtitles. Oh. Okay. That's awesome. Okay, C2. D sharp after C2. And then it was, what was it, F1? And then A sharp. There we go, okay. Yes, they knew it was the Devil's Puzzle. Please, first try. Yes! Fucking A. Fuck this puzzle. I win. Finally. Oh my gosh. Oh, you have a copy? Sure. Yes, absolutely. That would be awesome. Sounds like it would be great. I'll still see if I can, like, find a copy somewhere, and between the two of us, maybe we can get it on the channel. That would be sick. It's the ghost games. No, don't worry about it. It's so safe. It's so fine, actually. There we go. The Selenitic Age. Hot chicks being cryptic. Sounds great to me. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? Anime asks the real questions. The answer, no. Okay, here we go. So here is his big old lake. The cryptic chicks sound like a, they sound like an alt-rock band or something. Cryptic chicks, they probably like open for the Crane Wives. Man, this is so cool. Very pretty. Yes, the Gothic Dixie Chicks cover band. And if you have any old games like Treasure Hunt, actually, I'll tell you exactly what you should do with them. Like, for real. For realsy reals. Any old, hard-to-find games like that, game magazines, instruction booklets, boxes, cover art, discs, if you can find them, you should contact the Video Game History Foundation and see if they would be interested, because especially if it's that much trouble to find that game, you know, then, hey, you know what? Pirated, emulated, whatever. It doesn't matter where the source code, like how it got onto a disc or onto your computer. What matters is that it's preserved. And there have been some games that were lost to time, and it was only through like their archaeology and the help of supporters that they were able to save some games that otherwise would have disappeared, or had already disappeared in some cases. They brought them back, Jurassic Park style, except without the bad science. So, like, for real, if you have a functioning copy, and it is that difficult to get hold of one, you should check them out. We're doing a fundraiser. The one we were supposed to do this weekend didn't work out because Twitch wasn't feeling very charitable. But in a couple of weeks, we're going to try again. So you guys can head over to gamehistory.org to check out the Video Game History Foundation and support them directly. They have a Patreon, too. And, I mean, if you're going to be on Patreon anyway, of course. Like, I just mean, like, you know, if you're there. I also have a Patreon. You know, but it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Like, we have YouTube channel memberships too, but it's cool. No big. Just, you know, whatever you feel like. Oh, man. Okay, well, let's see. Where do we begin? I guess at the beginning? Okay, this is where we need like a combination or something, don't we? Is it a... Oh, right. This is actually really cool. The combination is a sound combination. Which is that's a really cool idea. Oh, wow. In television too. Yeah, I hadn't even heard of that. So for real, like for realsy reals, actually reach out to the VGHF. I bet they would be interested. They're very nice, and everything that you can do to help them, they are very excited about, so. Okay, so, oh, that's a shame. Okay. Lava rumbling. Right. I already went over here, but like, I should have pressed the button while I was here, but I didn't want to mess with a puzzle without remembering what it was. Ethereal crystal sound. I love that that's the subtitle. Okay, what's this one? Sustained a little damage. Wind blowing. Oh, well, we're not going down there yet. Not yet. Oh, this way. That one, that one, that one. So we need to go back over here now. Broken clock sounds. And this was the water sound, I think. My mouse. I bumped my mouse. Yeah, you're making me hungry, and I don't even like caviar. Okay, here we go. You can see it's like there's the microphone picking up the sound of running water. Oop. It's stuck on geometry. I wish I could move a little. Oh! Oh, there's a sprint! Oh, well, holy shit. Game of the year. Okay. Well, that makes things way better. Okay, so we have turned all of them on. What is the order, though? Or do we just have to... Oh, I can't remember if we just have to put all of them in and they have to be the correct sounds, or if it's a specific order because these are, like, the wires are colored. No. No, there's an extra step. Because there's, like, right here. These are, like, receiver dishes. Oh, shooting star. Make a wish. Meteors are still hitting, I guess. Sky up there looks like we're looking up through water. So yeah, like, see each of these, the microphone is like beaming the sound to this receiver station. And we have to go there to find out, like, the order, I think, that we have to, like, put them into the combination. How do we get over there? This is the one where the bridge is messed up, I think. Oh, there's a ladder. Okay. Right, now is when we go down that ladder. Okay. I'm having vague memories of things. A good morning indeed. Glad you didn't miss out. It's bats. That's cute. Go over here underneath the water. And I don't think we have to... Okay, yeah, it's just the lights. Okay, so now... Right. I hear static. Okay, so... We're, like, turning the dish. Oop. There we go, and we have to arrange it, like, align it with the dishes. That's not it. This one should be water, I think. No, that's lava. Okay, so... Yeah, we have to do it for all 5 of them. Oh, wait a minute, actually... There's water flowing. It's hard to see the dishes, like, behind the trees. Okay. And... the goal is you want to hear the least amount of static. Okay, so this is... Let's do it this way. There we go. Okay, ethereal crystal sounds. Oh, this one's sitting almost right on it. And wind blowing. one's over here. There we go. And that shows you, so it's... Okay, so it should be crystal, water, wind, lava, heart. Okay. There we go. Alright, help me remember. Earth, water, wind, fire, heart. Okay. See, I think that's why I was thinking of the selenite age, because selenite is actually like a mineral, a crystal that's named after the moon goddess. So that kind of makes sense. Okay, let's get through this door. Alright, so... Earth. Water. Wind. Fire. Clocks. Aha! We're in. Oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. We've come so far in 30 years. Man. Wow. So this is meant to be the last level. And so the spaceship actually flew you here and crashed. Oh. So originally, the game did not have, like, the central island as a hub, actually. Okay. Huh. Well, I imagine it went through, like, a lot of different changes before they finally got it to what it is now, or what it became. Because, you know, they did a lot of original stuff with this game. It was definitely the first of its kind. Right, like very early designs. Neat. That's cool to know. Alright. Journey to the center of the Earth, anybody? But in the end, we're all just made of matter. Indeed, thank you. Okay, this... Oh boy. Okay. So let's see. This is up and down, right? Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, world's smallest Ouija board. For very tiny ghosts. Yes, this rotates us left and right. I think at first there might only be one way to go. Yeah, so I think we just have to start with north. Alright, let me Save before... Oh, you're not gonna let me save? Really? Was that just a loading thing, or... Oh, okay, wait a second then. Let's go back up top, because we need to save before we do this. This is a pain. Oh, man. Okay. New Iron Lung update. Okay, now back down. Oh man, okay. Yeah, steel lung. And then if there's a third one, it could be like tungsten lung or something. Titanium lung. Okay. Right. So that's a north. And then east. Are they all making the same sound? It might be because I'm at the beginning. Okay, so let's do this. And go from intersection to intersection. Okay. So... these are... how does it go? This is one where, like, you have to use something from another age. Diamond lung. It's like... Oh, okay. No, wait, I get it. Yes, we did. Yes, from the mechanical age. Okay. So, it's not that each direction... it's not that each direction has its own sound when you're pointed that way. It's that when you are at an intersection, hitting this plays the sound of the direction you need to go. Where are my notes from last week? Here we go. Okay, so north is clink. This is spin sound, so we need to go west. Yes, you have to use the sounds from the mechanical age, from turning the fortress. And then you being able to only orient north and hearing the clink sound or whatever when you first come down to the first intersection is like your clue. So, okay, clink again. So we need to go... oh, no. Wrong way. We need to go north. I think that's correct. God, I hope that's right. And he built all this in a year. Exhaust. Okay, that is east. Okay. Keep turning it the wrong way. I don't think I would have remembered if you hadn't said that. Exhaust. That is east. Again. Cowbell. That should be south, according to my notes. A conversation with a dinosaur. I don't remember that. I may be mistaken. Cowbell. So, south again. Can you hear me getting more confident as we go along? That probably means I'm wrong. The more certain I am that I've solved this puzzle. Oh, we're going a long way this time, though. The more likely it is that I screwed up somewhere. Spin. Okay. Oh, right. West. Oh, yeah, you could be thinking of zombie dinos from Planet Zeltoid. I don't know how you would confuse that with Myst, though. Oh, it's starting to curve. At least we're seeing something different. This is a smooth ride, though. 20,000 leagues under the earth. Yeah. Well, zombie dinos from Planet Zeltoid sure is, like, a whole thing. Okay. Let's kick some brains. Cowbell sound and spin sound. Okay, this is the first time it's playing both of them at the same time, so that's southwest, I think. Oh, 1 second. Actually, it appears... Nope, there we go. Okay. Let's kick some brains. Spin sound. West again. God, see, this puzzle is like infamous because there's so many intersections to get through. Spin and clink. That's going to be northwest? So, like, it's real easy to lose your way. But if you know the sounds, I guess maybe that makes it easier, because then, like, you don't have to remember which direction you came from. You only need to know which direction you're going. Okay, clink and exhaust. That's northeast? Yes. Right, yeah, it requires you to have solved puzzles in other places like the Mechanical Age, otherwise you can't beat this one. So yeah, I can see how they would build up to it. Clink sound, north. So back this way. Okay. Plumbers don't wear ties. Oh my god. No way. I actually know what that is. And you're right. Why, you ask? Fuck you. That's why. Okay. Exhaust and cowbell, so southeast. Oh my gosh. Boo. Oh, I think we made it to the end. Or a dead end, at least. Is this... Plumbers don't wear ties? Yeah, it is FMV, yes. It's very bad. Yes, oh my gosh, we did it. Holy shit. Oh boy. Okay, let's... Whoa. Oh my god. No. No, you can't. Stop that. Oh man. Oh, this is so cool. Look at that. For some reason, this is giving me Zork Nemesis vibes. probably because of the conservatory level, like, Sophia's hidden laboratory. Oh, wow. You would die here, actually. That's not just heat waves, it's also toxic gases, but don't tell your D&D players that. That you take poison as well as fire damage from exposure to lava. That's it, we got the pages. We're back. Oh man, okay. Shut up, Akinar. There we go now.
Oh, my friend. Bring in the blue pages. I see. Convinced Cirrus is guilty. Pray, do not release him. He will destroy me just to see him. The innocent bystander has been wrongfully tricked into imprisonment. You have observed his unbridled lust for riches. In the 4 remaining worlds, some plot. It was almost perfect. Final blow to the father. You tricked him into believing that it was I who was the murderer. I didn't murder father. Bring me the remaining. Just please.
There we go. Yeah, exactly. If you've been in his room in any given age, you know that, like, innocence not a descriptor you can apply to Akinar.
With each page I can see more clearly. Soon, free from this horrible prison, this book. You must visit the one remaining age. You have not. Confident that my brother Akinar is demented. He is guilty. He took advantage of the freedom our father had given us. Akinar began to I ask you again. Do not retrieve the blue pages. He will destroy both myself and you, just as he destroyed the other pages of Myst. Never.
Well, there we go. War story starts to become visible a little bit at a time. You see they're blaming each other, each of them trying to get you to free them and not... Oops, forgot a step. And not the other brother. Okay, let's see. That just leaves the stone ship age. Why are you... No. Ah! The controls got a little wonky there for a second. There we go. When I was a kid, my sort of headcanon, I guess you might say, was that we're playing Catherine. Because that's the only other person who, like, doesn't appear in the game. Atris leaves a note for Catherine, talks about how Catherine always stays behind on Myst and doesn't like to travel to the other ages. You know, and their sons are trapped. The only other person who would really, like, understand what's going on would be Catherine, Atris's wife. So, leaving them both locked up? Oh, yes. Okay, let's... Alright. Got that. Back down. Okay, so those are dates and times. If only. Okay, now what do we do with this? This is connected to the stone ship puzzle, but how? I can't remember. It's not the information that we have. Yeah. You have to raise this little ship. Oh. Is it this little building over here? So we've not been back to... Yeah. I think so. Yes. Okay, so... Just a second. This is... It won't let you go into the photo album when you're, like, actually in a puzzle, which is weird. So let me just jot these down real quick. Write these down so don't have to click back in here and go in and out of the puzzle. I've never thought to look up and see if these dates or times have any, like, real-world significance. I'm not sure that they do. Okay. Alright. So, this is... Okay. January... Okay, so this goes up and down. And then this is going to be... Ah, okay. Alright. So we have October 11. That is 1984. 10:04 a.m. Oh, first spacewalk by an American woman. Oh, that's really cool. Actually. Okay. Is there anything special about the others? They are... Oh, they're from... So the protagonist is from New Mexico because that's where the Myst linking book was, and they were a photographer. Which is why we have the ability to take pictures, because we have a camera with us. Interesting. And I don't even know where that canon info is from, so... Okay, so this... Remember this pattern. Okay, now... January... 17... 12:07 at 5... let me go this way. 46. Prima's first... Okay, so like the Prima strategy guide. And then it became canon later in Myst 4. Okay. So was it like... Did they just make an assumption like the Prima guide writers made that up or were making guesses or something or joked about it in the strategy guide, and then later on in Myst they just took that and ran with it? Or did they get it from somewhere? Like, was it in the instruction booklet for Myst, maybe? Like, on the inside of the jewel case or something? No. Oh! That's kind of funny, actually. Okay, so the only results for the other star dates are about Myst itself. That's kind of neat. Okay, so November 23 is 97 91, and then it's 06 57. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, there's 4. It's Myst, Riven is the second one, Exile I think is the third one, and then is the fourth one Uru? I think. Oh, well, yeah. The year 97, 91 probably doesn't have a lot of Google hits. Could be 1979, yeah. But yeah, so it's Myst, Riven, Exile, and Uru, I think. Photographer part they made up, but the New Mexico part was figured out because in Riven they mentioned it falling into a star fissure and gave real-world coordinates. Fans worked out those coordinates are Eddy County, New Mexico, so that's where the Myst book landed. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Well, this is right? 6:57 p.m. Bit hit or missed. Possibly. Okay. 6:57 p.m. So that's correct. Well, that's the only one that's p.m. instead of a.m. Is it like... Oh, this is a 24-hour clock. Oh, okay, so it would be 18:57, wouldn't it? There we go. Okay. Hey. Nice. Okay, I think that's all we do here? Because what those are like the constellations or shapes that we need to light up over here. So we have... that's leaf, I think, if I remember correctly. Not 100% sure about that one. That one might be the snake. Is this snake? That's snake. Where is leaf? You're not leaf. Not you. Yeah, just enough to trip somebody up. Yeah. There's leaf. Okay. That's an arrow. Anchor? I don't think that's right. This is the spider, right? Yeah. Eyeball. What? Is that one? Actually, I thought I heard... Was it with this one? Yes, okay, I did hear wood creaking. So it is bug. Excellent. Okay, so... that should mean... ta-da! That the other ship, the real ship, has raised as well. Oh. Let's go over here. So, yeah, I guess it's just supposed to be like, you know, astronomical coordinates. You put in the dates and times in this, whatever that is, viewer thing, and you get a view of certain constellations, and you put those over here, and I'm guessing that's supposed to be like the constellations by which the ship is intended to navigate to get where it's going. So that raises that up. The island is a little bit odd. I think that's probably safe to say. Okay, Stone Ship Age. Emmett was the first to live on the rocks. He named them the rocks because that is what they were. A group of sharp rocks clustered together in the middle of a large sea. This was where Emmett lived. He enjoyed his life. Emmett would occasionally swim to nearby rocks, as it was never too far of a distance. One day another person appeared on the rocks for no apparent reason to Emmett. Emmett named this new person Branch. Emmett and Branch quickly became friends, swimming and hunting for fish together often. Emmett showed Branch the simple cave in which he lived on the largest rock. Soon, Branch discovered a place where he decided to live, also on the same large rock. The sun always shone brightly in their world, and the water was always dazzlingly clear, allowing them to see almost to the deep ocean floor which surrounded them. Though the sun always shone, it was never too hot for the boys. A light breeze always came from the north and cooled the area down. One day while Branch was swimming and having fun in the water, he noticed another boy swimming. Branch brought the new boy to Emmett and found out what to call the new boy. Emmett said the boy should be called Will. Will was soon a part of the group, and all three of the boys swam and enjoyed their perfect world. At least that is the story I was told when I arrived today on the island. Emmett, Branch, and Will were surprised to see me at first, but even before the night ended, we were all becoming good friends. The polyamorous romance that we didn't know we needed. Today, the second day on this newly created age, a strange thing happened. See, again, he refers to it as newly created. So he variously talks about the different ages as, like, universes that he made or is making, and things that he discovered. And he talks about them, like, having history. So, like, when he went to the Channelwood age, he was surprised by what he found. But also a lot of it was kind of, like, as he imagined it would be. So he expected to see some of what he saw, but not all of it. So I'm not sure. I don't know if there's a canon for that. It was not strange to me, but the three boys did not understand what was happening. While I was relaxing under a large tree on one of the smaller rock islands, it began to rain. It was a nice rain that lasted for about an hour in the morning. I explained to the boys the rain was not harmful, yet they obviously still feared it. Before going to sleep tonight, I told the boys I would leave the following day. I told them that while I was gone, I would make a surprising change in their world. They didn't understand, not that I expected them to. I still do not fully understand what happened today. I was experimenting with the art, testing the limits of the rules as dictated to me by Father. I attempted to create a boat by writing it into the world. I thought everything was planned correctly, yet somehow the boat had become gripped by the rock and broken in half. So, Atris, see, the art is like the way that they're using this magic or this power to create these worlds by writing them into existence. And Atris's father, I think that's the only place that he's mentioned, is the one who taught him how to do this. Although this test did not turn out as I had hoped, I now have answers to a few of the questions my father never answered. As for the boat, I can see the boys enjoy it anyway, and with that I am pleased. They have played on it all day. Even though the boat cannot move, I have enjoyed studying from it. It is a much sturdier platform than the jagged rocks. In the course of my observations, I have learned some very interesting things regarding the solar system of this age. The nights are absolutely beautiful here. I've made note of and named a number of constellations that pass above me. So there we go. That's the connection. Like, ideally you come in here and find this place first, and you read all of these journals at once, or at least before you go hunting for a way into a given age, and they give you certain clues, or they make these connections for you, like narratively. That being said, of course, if you come in here and read all 4 of them just all at one time, it's a big info dump, and you're not going to remember a lot of it, but this is from an age where these kinds of games also expected you to take notes, I think. So, also during the night I catch glimmers of light from the horizon, which I have not been able to discover if it's created by some natural phenomenon or by additional people on far-off islands or rocks. I should very much like to discover which. I rather suspect it is additional people, which would explain the appearance of Branch and Will. The rain today was slightly heavier than usual. Just when the boys were getting used to the light rains, a small storm arrived. They were frightened of the heavier rain, not to mention the thunder and lightning. If rain has never fallen here until recently, as the boys tell me, I would like to discover why it is falling now. Regardless, I have decided to return home for a short while. I have also been thinking of some plans for a lighthouse that I hope to construct soon. I think that perhaps by shining a bright light toward the horizon it might prove my suspicions regarding additional inhabitants. They would be curious about the light and travel to discover its source, if they have the means. I returned with many tools that I will need for construction of the lighthouse. I have decided that once the lighthouse is completed, I will leave for some time and let the world's own imagination have control. We have worked 3 weeks on the lighthouse now and are making great progress. The rock that we are building on seems to not be as secure as I would like. I've had to alter my plans slightly, but those alterations pose no real problem. The boys are quite strong and have been helping me immensely. I estimate construction will be done within 2 days. The lighthouse is finished, and we are all proud of our creation. The boys are amazed at the structure wrought from rock with their own hands. That evening we powered up the generator, much to the boys' dread at first, and shined a great light to the horizon for many hours. I stayed the night in the top of the lighthouse, and in the morning awoke to observe the sunrise without my being coated with the chilly blanket of ocean dew I'd become accustomed to. It was Will who first saw the girl. She was swimming not far from the boat where Will was getting ready to hunt for fish. Then Will noticed a man not far away from the girl. Emmett was very pleased to meet the additional neighbors. Oh, yeah. Right, that's for sure. Some of them are clearer than others. Like, I think the leaf, for example, is pretty straightforward. The one that's the snake, I think, is a little more open to interpretation. And then the one that's the bug is like, So, because, I mean, that's how I got it. It was basically clicking on all of them until one of them caused the ship to raise. I feel pleased to leave this age. I have set in motion events that have nothing to do with writing or the art that will have a more profound impact on this world than I could have ever written. I think, bird's eye view. There we go. A lovely map. I think of this age as a gift to myself that I will wrap up and open someday in the future, only to discover that it has changed so much it is indeed a surprise. Besides, I have yet another new age that awaits me. It seems I'm going to need some way to travel underwater in this new age, and so much planning is in order. Much later, he comes back. It has been 10 years since I left this age, which I have since called the Stone Ship Age. Upon returning, I cannot believe the changes that have taken place. The original 3 boys have grown into adults, and there are many new faces I do not recognize. Branch told me it has not rained for 7 years, and the cool breezes are back again. They're all very content and have been serving me with new foods and showing me new materials they've discovered. It even seems they've found gold somewhere. I see it in many forms around the island. My lighthouse has been kept in perfect condition, and it looks as if they have tried their very best to keep it so. Yet I have noted that the entire rock it was built on has sunk approximately 40 or 50 centimeters. After a wonderful visit with my old friends, I wonder aloud with them whether what things will be like here in another 10 years. And here we go. They actually show you. So there. I made things a little bit harder on us because I didn't read the book first, but it actually does kind of like show you what the constellations are supposed to be. So yeah, they do give you a key or a legend. Oh, I forgot I could sprint. Is it here or... Oh, no. Here we go. Let's get a save. There we go. This one might be my favorite. I like the Channelwood Age. I really do, but there's just something about the Stone Ship Age. And there we go. Man, look at this. Wow. That's so cool. You can also see, though, like, here's the lighthouse. And remember, he said after 10 years, the island that it was built on had sunk 40 or 50 centimeters. So we don't know how tall the lighthouse actually was, but, like, that's more than a few centimeters. So if it's sunk that much, how long has it been since anyone was here? On the other hand, the ship is still where it's at. So, like, the entire island hasn't sunk. Just that rock. It kind of does, actually. That's a good way to describe it. It looks like a teleport accident gone wrong. And all of these places always feel so lonely, but... Hello? I'm not clicking, I'm just moving. Okay, we'll come back to that. I think it's because, like, they're completely uninhabited when they're not supposed to be. Like, you wonder, where are the people? Like, where are the monkey folk in the Channelwood Age, right? Where are Emmett and Branch and Will here? Along with all the other people and their golden ornaments and things that are supposed to be on the stone ship. Right? Where are the survivors in the Fortress of the Mechanical Age? At least in the Selenitic Age, he doesn't mention that there's anybody there. So... Well, enough admiring, let's get started. Let's see, what's over here? Ooh, this is a... I don't know what that did. Maybe nothing, since I didn't actually pull it down into one of those slots. Yeah, see, that's it, kind of, in a way. Because, like, these worlds were created, and they were supposed to be vibrant, you know, and Atris made them, and not that long ago, although we don't know how old Atris is, and since he's, you know, effectively some sort of wizard, almost a god, in his own way, he could be immortal, for all we know. So we actually don't know for certain. We know that he measures time in the passage of days and years, but we don't know how old he is, but assuming that he has a normal lifespan. These places should still be inhabited unless something terrible happened. But whenever we show up to one, yeah, it feels kind of post-apocalyptic. So... Right. See, very much so. Because if that's more than, you know, if it took 10 years to go 40 or 50 centimeters, and it's sunk this far, even if we don't know how tall the lighthouse was, that's still, like, that's a lot. It's decades at least, centuries possibly, maybe millennia, depending on how tall this was. But there's no evidence of anything other than these concrete bits here, which presumably go to the generator for the lighthouse. So... Hello? We've got... nothing, I guess? Okay, so... something needs to come up to us. Oh, no, wait a minute. Is that too far away? Yeah. Okay. Stairs. Yeah, it seems like the passage of time is described as, like, approximately the same. So, like, 10 years for Atris before he came back here was about 10 years for the boys before he came back. Okay, so there's water in all of these. Oh, I think that's what the lever does. I think it drains the water. Okay, so... So let's see. Let's start with this one. So which one did that drain? The ship. Okay, so left drains the ship. Boom! Check this out. Oh, you can see stuff out there. Cool. Eerie, but cool. I'm both like... I'm both pleased that they did not think to include things like ruins out here beyond the glass, where you could see them under the water to see if things had, like, sunk over time. And also, like, a little disappointed that they missed the opportunity, I guess. Okay, looks like we need power, maybe? Oh my gosh, pizza sauce burns are like some of the worst. I can't tell you how many times I've been, like, starving and torn into a piece of pizza, like, just crack into a slice of deep dish like a starving dog, and wind up burning, like, my entire palate off with tomato sauce. Oh, now I want pizza though. Oh no. Oh, that's even worse, actually, because at least your mouth heals like pretty fast. Yes, also a big shark would work. Like, I am glad that they didn't put a sea monster. Could be like in Destiny 2 where the god worm swims by on, where is it, Europa, I think? Okay, so middle drains the tower passage, or whatever you call this. Yes, oh my god, yes. There is no temperature hotter than a pizza roll just removed from microwave. Like, I don't understand why they haven't achieved fusion technology yet. Like, if you want something that is as hot as the core of a star, all you have to do is microwave a Totino's pizza roll. This has been learned and is known by, like 10 and 12-year-old children across America. Oh, wow. Cool. Okay. Candles. We got coin. We got jewelry that looks like a, yeah, like a tiara. Doesn't look like there's anything down there of interest. Yeah, pasta eaten too quickly is definitely, like, a runner-up. Oh, there's the red page. Yeah, you can tell this is Sirius's room. So there's, that could be bottles of ink, could be poison for the dagger, who knows? Oh, but look here. So, Akinar was violent. Sirius had other vices. So, like, I can't tell what is in each of these bottles. But the one on the right looks like it's labeled morphine for sure. When I don't think this actually does anything. I think it's just like a toy because they were showing off what they could do with the 3D technology at the time. Don't think that spinning those does anything. Maybe? I wonder if this is like a globe for this world. Okay, well, we got the red page. I don't know if there's anything else down here. No lights in these tunnels, apparently. It's weird that there were over there in the Selenitic age, but not here. So this one goes down in a different direction. This is going to be Akinar's room, presumably. Kind of see the wood paneling. Yep, this is Akinar's room. You can hear the music is even more sinister. Oh man, look at this. Not actually implements of torture, but probably used to make implements of torture. Here's the blue page. Yeah, for real. Although I do have to say that this lamp is sick. Like, that's pretty cool. Oh, right. Life and death. And notice, look how plain his bed is. And dirty, too. The implication to me has always kind of been that, like, Akinar either doesn't get enough sleep or it's not something he values. Like, he sleeps because he has to. And the rest of the time, he's just, like, doing stuff. Ooh, you know, that's also possible. Could be because I see, like, you know, what would you call them? Forceps? Or whatever. There's a sextant, triangles, there's an L ruler, a straight ruler, a T-bar, you know, and this is a drafting table. And then he's got maps down here in these, so I'm assuming that it is for cartography. Which is interesting. That's about the only depth that we actually see to Akinar, is if you assume that he was a map maker. It's like that's a little more interesting than just him being a walking slasher film, as you put it. But then, yeah, there's like the skull toy and stuff, so could also be that. Something more sinister. When it's Akinar, I tend to, like, assume the sinister. Okay, so that means probably the one on the right, I bet, is going to drain the lighthouse. Yeah, water's back up here, so it's just moving water around, not permanently draining it. Okay. Ah. The keyhole was a red herring. And in fact, I think we needed to drain this buoy so that this treasure chest would float, and that is what the key is for. Okay, so now let's come back over here, and I don't think we need to go back in the boys' rooms, so we'll do this and move the water back into the lighthouse from the ship. Are your spirits buoyed by this? Oh, and now we can do that too, so. There we go. And here is another key. Ta-da! That's an interesting puzzle. Okay. So, the lighthouse. Oop. There we go. So this is where we crank up the generator. And now we've got power over there. Is that all we need to do here? I think. I don't see anything else. Okay, now, so since there was power here, but it actually went this way. Oh, there are lights. Hey. Should we go back down that way then and see if we missed anything? I think these all could be doors, maybe? Like, was this where people were living down in the rock? Aha! This is now open. Hello? Did the lights go out? Okay, well there's the electrical cables coming down here. That's one of the power pylons. Yeah, this room is a little spooky. Yeah, it looks like the power went out. Is there a time limit? Oh. Hello? There we go. Got lost in the dark for a second. Because so far when we've seen, like, that it goes dark for a second, yeah, I don't hear that buzzing. And then, like, that's the lights going out or coming back on. Yeah, we ran out of juice. See, like that? And that's when we look up here and it's... Give it a couple extra for the road. Okay, so... Maximum power! Charging my lasers. Run, 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 run. Run, run, run. 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 Okay, yeah, definitely. Let's do a save. Okay. Okay, I hope not. Yeah, I hope we didn't hit self-destruct. Oh. I guess I loaded the autosave from after that happened. Let's go back one. Yeah, here we go. The lights are on. Okay, so this is obviously a compass rose. That's north, because it's the only thing that's different, and like north is always decorated so you know where it is at a glance. So this is north. I do not remember what to do here. The sextant. Upstairs. Oh, you mean like the telescope up on top. Or whatever. Yeah, sextant is probably a better word for it. I don't know if it's a telescope. This thing. Yes, we haven't done anything with this yet. Okay, so let's see. I'm not sure what we're looking for. There we go. I was trying to get it to stop and see, like... Same directions from the subway? Oh, God. Could you imagine if you had to input that whole combination? Because there's like a bazillion buttons down there. Like that, like north, north, south, west, southeast. Oh, we ran out of juice again. I don't know. Asked the ship. That was flashing a second ago, wasn't it? Dang it. I guess it's because the power went out. I don't think so, because that just went to Cirrus and Akinar's rooms. But you are correct that I really did not thoroughly re-explore that area after turning the lights on. Oh, you know what else we didn't do either? We didn't go back down into the ship. That might be it, actually. And there's only one room there, so we should do that too. Let me do that first, because it's like kind of closer. Yeah, okay, so the lighthouse actually, it lights up when it has power, as lighthouses do. Maybe it's the lighthouse direction? Maybe. Yeah, because this still does not have power. Okay. Well, the lighthouse does light up when it's got power, obviously, so you think pointed at the lighthouse? That might be right, actually, because... Oop. What is that? Dang it. Okay, so that would be 135, I guess? The rock formations. We find out the direction of that formation and put that on the rose. Right. Yeah, it's something like that. Okay, let me go over here real quick. I want to see... Does it show how much power we still have? Like, does it tick down? Yes, it does, actually. Hey! And we caught it before it went all the way down. Cool. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, so... Oh, right. Southeast. Well, I figured the only thing of any interest is the light on top of the lighthouse, and that also featured very heavily in Atris's diary entries. Like, that was the thing that kickstarted all of the change in this world and made everything become what it was. So, like, that's the important thing. Let's try that first. So here we go. Let me save it again here, just in case. Okay, so southeast. So if that's north, then this would be east. So southeast would be this one? Oh, something happened. Those lights came on. Hello. Does that mean... maybe the other thing has power now? I don't remember. I should... here, while I'm here, we should check Cirrus and Akinar's rooms. See if anything, like, lit up or opened. I don't think so. Even the drawers have closed on their own. Oh, actually, hey, look at this. Markers... oh, it's the other half of that. Vault is located something the island achieve very easily. Instructions are follow. Each of the marker switches turn everyone on the on position. That is a final step. Turn something... oh, right, because you have to turn one of them, like, off, I think. Okay. Yeah, would you kindly? Okay, I don't know if the power's going to go back out or not. Or if it's, like, locked in place. Thank you so much. That would have taken so much longer to get. Because I don't know, like, nautical directions and stuff. Anything different here? Nothing that stands out. Different drugs? Different knife? No. That looks like that should pop out too. Let's do anything when we spin them. No. And the lights are not going out. We've been down here a while, so maybe... maybe it was like, basically we were cranking up temporary power and then pushing that turned on, like, the big generator. Let's go over here and see if there's electricity left, if it's, like, locked in place or what. Is it still running down? Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's, like, on now. Okay, so that was correct. Yeah, the inside of those drawers definitely have maps on them, or in them. Okay, so back to the ship. I've not gone back to the lighthouse. I don't think you have to. I think it's the only time you have to drain the lighthouse. I don't remember there being anything. But then I didn't remember anything about the sextant or whatever either. Ah. Yeah. There's those lights. So now we've got power down here. Okay. That's it. That's it. Time to go home. Also, I'm just combining my headcanons now. Like, I'm just deciding that, I'm just deciding that, Catherine is a photographer from New Mexico. It's only one. Okay, well. I was going to create a new save, but that's fine. Okay, now. This is where things get interesting. So. We found a red and a blue page here next to each of these books when we got started, right? And we went to all 4 of the different ages, and we found 4 more pages for 5 total. Okay? So, I have saved it. Remember, each of them asked for me to find all of the blue pages or the red pages. So let's see what happens when we do.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello. I'm Akana. I'm glad to see that you've returned to help me escape from my wrongful imprisonment.
Now you can see the whole thing.
It was Cirrus who did this to me. Cirrus, my wicked brother. Do not listen to him. I warn you. He's a liar. Do not be persuaded by his evil lies. Do not release him. He killed my father. He will kill you. It began when my brother Cirrus began to lust for riches. He stole from the ages of Myst. He hoarded riches for himself. My father slipped away his watchfulness. My sick brother secretly pronounced himself king. King of the ages of Myst, he said. He began to look upon me in disgust. His lowly brother hated him. And then Cirrus began to destroy the ages of Myst. He burned their forest. He tore down their structures. He flooded their lands. He murdered their inhabitants. Completely destroyed all but 4 of the ages. Of course, I had warned father. When I finally found him, there was Cirrus also, talking cleverly. The lying tongue of a serpent. He had convinced father that it was I who destroyed the ages. He convinced father that it was I who was greedy for wealth and plunder. And as Cirrus dealt the final blow, he tricked father into believing that I was the murderer. But Cirrus did not deal as fast a blow as he planned. And his father died a slow death. He at last doubted my brother's clever lies, and so in dying, father imprisoned us both, unsure from which of us the blow had come. I swear to you what I say is true. Release me. You must release me. My brother is a deceitful liar and deserves punishment. I only wish vengeance for my dear father. His murder. Believe me. You must only recover 1 additional page to release me from this prison. It's the easiest to find. Go to the bookshelf that's in this library. On the far right side of the middle shelf, there's a burned book, which is different from the other burnt books. This book is filled with patterns. Find pattern 158. Mimic its design on the panel in the fireplace. Doing this will bring you to the last blue page. Remember, don't take the red page. Only the blue page. Return quickly to me. And do not touch the green book. It's a clever trap to imprison those who have not been warned. Do not be tempted, for you will rot and die, imprisoned as I am. I tell you, if you follow my instructions, it will be well worth your while. I promise you that. Go. Go.
There you go. You get to see the whole video now. The whole story. So let's hear Cirrus's side of it.
You finally returned. I owe you a debt of gratitude, for you have nearly released me. My name is Cirrus. I trust that from your explorations you've become convinced that my wicked brother Akbar is guilty, and I am innocent. It is I who am wrongly imprisoned here. Imprisoned by my father. I don't know who you are, or how you came to this island, but I assume you must at least know something of the books. It was father who was a master of the books. He wrote hundreds, all describing and linking to the fantastic places and ages which he had discovered. The room in which you now stand was our father's library. It was here in this room, on this island named Myst, that he housed most of these books. But such a waste. By now, you have surely discovered that Akbar has burnt and mutilated most of these books. Why? Our father was always watchful of our exploration. We grew up under his strict supervision. But when we came of age, he gave us unbridled access to the Myst books. He began to leave our adventures more and more unchecked. Unsupervised as we were, my brother began to become disturbed. He began to take more from the Myst ages than he had given. Soon he gained a twisted pleasure from the conquest and destruction of the other ages. It was horrific. This thirst for destruction. But alas, even I discovered his insanity too late. He had completely destroyed all of the Myst ages but 4. I wasted no time. In warning my father, I thought he would recognize Aknar's guilt. But in a fit of rage, he imprisoned both my brother and myself within the pages of these books, designed to hold us until he could judge which of us was guilty. To discover the truth, our father embarked on one final chapter. However, he has never returned. I can only assume that he perished along the way, leaving me, an innocent victim, trapped forever. But now, you are here to release me. Listen carefully. You must find one more page and I will be forever free. There is a book on the shelves. This library, which is mostly burned but has a few pages still intact. It is the last book on the middle shelf. Find it. This book is filled with a variety of patterns. Find pattern 158 and recreate it on the door of the fireplace. This will bring you to the last red page. Bring that page to me, and I will finally be released, and able to reward you, of course. Ignore the blue page. That page finishes my brother's book. Chills me to even think what would happen if you were to release him. There is another warning. Where the red and blue pages reside, also resides a green book. If you touch the green book, you also will be imprisoned forever. Our father gave us this same warning long ago. I suggest you follow his advice. Go now. Soon we will meet face to face.
You can see how Akanar sounds way more desperate, but Cirrus is a lot more clever, because, like, when he addresses you, he just makes assumptions with his speech. Like, he talks about how, obviously, in your explorations, you have learned that Akanar is guilty. Otherwise, why would you be doing this? Why would you be helping me if you didn't already know that? So it's like he's stroking your ego, trying to make it sound as though you're smart for having figured out that he is an innocent victim. So he's a smooth talker, whereas Akanar, of course, has that sort of desperation about him that you find sometimes in true victims and sometimes in the deranged. So, anyway, that is where you find out which of these horrible patterns we need. Oh, and it opens right to 158. Well, look at that. cool. Yeah, sounds like a great idea, doesn't it? Okay. So this is 158. Okay, so this is going to be... I'm just going to take a picture of this with my phone, actually, rather than click in and out and in and out and in and out. There we go. Okay. So let's... Haha. There we go. Okay. This is it, folks. We are at the end. So, you want to touch the green book?
Who the devil are you? Don't come here to Dunny, not yet. Oh, I have many questions for you, my friend, as you no doubt have for me. Where should I begin? Perhaps my story is in order. My name is Atris. I feel you've met my sons, Cirrus and Achenar, in the red and blue books on Myst Island, in my library. My library, it contains my works, my writings. Oh, I wrote many books that linked me to fantastic places. It's an art I learned from my father many years ago. Oh, but the red and blue books, those were different. I wrote those books to entrap over greedy explorers who might stumble upon my island of Myst. But I had no idea my own sons would be entrapped. My sons, Cirrus and Achenar. We had many journeys together. I gave them free rein to the books. Perhaps it was not wise. I could see the greed growing in them. I had not told them about the red and blue books. Their imaginations went wild. They dreamed of riches and power. Of course, they did not know the books were traps. They begged me for access to those books, and I, of course, denied them. Oh, they devised a plan. An evil plan. I had no idea to what extent their greed had progressed. Their own mother. Oh, my own dear Catherine. They used her to lure me here to Dunny. Of course, I could return to Myst, except they removed a single page from my Myst linking book. I cannot return without that page. You, my friend, can bring that page to me. Oh, I pray you believe my story above the lies that my sons have told you. If you could find it in yourself to return that page to me here in Dunny, I could go to Myst and bring justice to my sons for what they've done. I must return to my writing. I pray that you believe me. Please hurry. Bring the page. Bring the page with you.
Okay, so here we go. This is the very end of the game. And it's actually pretty easy to show you all of the different endings. So, there are 4 endings, I think. Let's start with this one. He said, bring the page, don't come here yet. Donnie is what he calls the age or the world on the other side of the green book. And yeah, I know, I said earlier, I kind of headcanon that we were playing Catherine. And as a kid, it's true because it just took a long time for me to get to this point in the game and actually beat enough puzzles to find out that obviously she is somewhere else, like canonically. And Atris, when he speaks to you, like, obviously doesn't recognize you. So you have to be somewhere else. So here we go. Touch the book. He's like, oh no. Oh boy. How they made the warping sound? Yeah, that'd be interesting to know. Ah, here we go.
Ah, my friend, you've returned. We meet face to face. And the page, did you bring the page? You didn't bring the page. You didn't bring the page. What kind of fool are you? Did you not take my warning seriously? Welcome to Dunny. You and I will live here forever.
Well, better find something to do for the next 10,000 years. Want to play D&D? Those are the 3D models that they had originally substituted in for the original FMVs, and I think you can kind of see, I guess, now that I've seen them myself, I guess I can kind of see how people were disappointed with the quality. I didn't think it was that bad, though, really, honestly. 10,000 years just enough to get a Warhammer 40k game going. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. You have to undo the pattern. Okay, so there's that. Play one round of Eldritch Horror. Decent world building, yeah. There's the last red page.
Yes. Yes. I'm free. Oh, thank you, my friend.
Oh
My
no.
dear friend. You've done the right thing. You stupid fool. It looks like perhaps you're in the book now. And what have we here? A page. Oh no. I hope you enjoy your new home as much as I enjoyed it. I can't see you. You're getting less clear. I hope you're into books. The library looks much the same as I left it. Wagner! Oh. Goodbye.
Boo. Boo hiss. Inside an Angel Fire page. Literally. Yeah, if not PS2, maybe early PS3. Or Xbox 360. Perhaps. But yeah, like the rest of the game has a very high high production value, it feels like. And those 3D models kind of don't. I'm not sure why they changed those. Anyway, here we go. Ending number 3.
Oh, yes. I feel alive. How do you feel, my friend? Oh, and what have we here? Perhaps the pages you worked so hard for. Oops. Perhaps you're seeing the world from my point of view. Oh, yes. Ooh. Serious. Serious. Maybe someone will rescue you someday. Oh no. Yes. Yes. You lose.
There we go, Akinar's ending. So both of them trap you in their books. And now they are free. Yeah, it's weird, actually. Like, of course, the quality of the models notwithstanding, I feel like Cirrus got a slight downgrade while Akinar got a serious glow-up. Interesting choice in designs. Okay, let's go get that last page. Oh, this one. Oh, it's already open. Well. Alright, so you may recall the other notes we found, the one that was torn in two, and the pieces were scattered across a couple different ages. So those were notes that Atris presumably left for Catherine, maybe. And basically what it amounts to is you have to turn on all of the marker switches except for one, which you have to turn off. Part of the reason that you don't find this out early on is because you're expected to turn these on in order to use the map to get into the ages and locate all of the landmarks and stuff, right? Plus it's a puzzle game. If there's a switch, you have to throw it because obviously it does something. Well, one of the reasons I think that the clock tower marker switch is inaccessible until you solve some other puzzles is to sort of distract you from trying different combinations, because it's like, oh man, I need to have all of these on, they're gonna do something. And then you find the map in the library and you realize they do something. They add to the map, they update it with POIs. So it's like, oh, something's gonna happen when I get that last one that's just out of reach, I can see it. And actually what that's there for is to distract you from this. The white page. Here we go, ending number 4. Of course, this is the end of ends. Oh, you done really gonna make me put in that pattern again, aren't you? Okay. The whole thing? Alright. this, I think. Is that right? No. Dang, I tried to do it from memory without looking at my phone. Let me pull up that photo. Oh, I almost had it. There's where I screwed up. Well, I screwed up in a couple places. There we go. The white page listing for Wizard. Yeah. As opposed to the yellow page listing, because that's Harry Dresden.
Ah, my friend, you've returned. And the page. Did you bring the page? You've done the right thing. I have a difficult choice to make. My sons have betrayed me. I know what I must do. I shall return shortly.
Can we save here? No. Let me just wait. Yep.
It is done. I have many questions for you, my friend, but my writing cannot wait. I fear that my long delay may have already had a catastrophic impact on the world in which my wife, Catherine, is now being held hostage. Oh, and a reward. I'm sorry, but all I have to offer you is the library on the island of Myst and the books that are contained there. Feel free to explore at your leisure. I hope you find your exploration satisfying. You'll no longer have my sons to deal with. Oh, and one more thing. I'm fighting a foe much greater than my sons could ever imagine. At some point in the future, I may find it necessary to request your assistance. Until that point, I'm afraid you'll enjoy the explorations from my library on Myst. Thank you. The book. You can use the Myst linking book to return to Myst.
There we go. And here's the part you've all been waiting for. What precisely did he do? Well, there you go. Can he destroy both the books? Yes. Yes, you can. The only time that book burning is maybe okay. There we go. And now we're free. Free! Free! Free to explore. So we can wander around and look at all these places, experience them anew. It's sort of a new game plus kind of thing. Myst doesn't really end if you get the good ending. The good ending means that now you can wander around and go back and forth between the different ages and just kind of enjoy the scenery. So that's it. That's the whole game. So I hope that you enjoyed it. I definitely did. This was great to go back to such an old game, to one of the very first computer video games, like PC games, that I ever played. And the first PC game that I ever actually owned on my own computer, and see it like this after so long. Like, man, we have both grown up together, haven't we, old friend? Man. Time has perhaps been kinder to you than to I. But I have enjoyed this time that we got to spend together on this second round. And I hope that you had fun playing. I am grateful for the privilege of your time, and we will definitely be returning to the world of Myst at some point in the future, because I'm given to understand that these folks also remade Riven in much the same way. And the thing is, I've actually never played any of the other Myst games, only the first one. For years and years of meaning to get around to it, and even having copies sitting in my Steam library, Riven, Exile, and Uru have all kind of passed me by. So that means when we do play Riven, I will be solving those puzzles and experiencing those worlds, those ages, or however the game is constructed, for the first time with y'all. I hope that you'll look forward to it, because I definitely am. I don't know when we'll get to it, but one of these days. Yeah, it could take longer. That one could take longer. But you don't have to wait too long for another stream, because on Saturday I'll be back with Icewind Dale 2, the Enhanced Edition. On Monday, I will have more Wasteland 2 for you. And the following Mondays, September the 2nd, Specific Pixel will be back with me for more of Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door remake on the Switch, all of which I am enjoying. Now, next Thursday, which is going to be August the 29th, since we have finished Myst, there will be no stream. I'm going to take a week off. And then I will be back on September the 5th with a new series, a sort of new series, semi-new series. We're going back to Disciples Sacred Lands for a new campaign. Been a while since we played a TBS here on the channel, and Disciples is one of my favorites, so I hope that you're excited. Don't forget to stop in and be there at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which is New York and Miami time here in the U.S., to help decide which of the 3 other civs we're going to play. We did the Undead Hordes last time, so that leaves the Empire, the Mountain Clans, and the Legions of the Damned. I'm excited to see what comes of it. And also, we're going to try again for our Video Game History Foundation fundraiser on September the 1st. So that is the first Sunday and the first day in September, the day before Labor Day if you're here in the US. If Twitch's charity tool is working by then, hopefully we'll have an easy time. If not, there's always Tiltify or something. So, if you enjoyed these puzzles and enjoyed this look into the highly revamped world of Myst, a milestone classic game that changed gaming forever, truly one of the greats, then don't forget to like and subscribe or follow, leave a comment, turn on notifications, head on over to the Patreon, and while you're there you can check out the Video Game History Foundation's Patreon and support them as well. Or, if you don't want to jump platforms and you're watching this in the future, then you can also become a YouTube channel member. Any support is welcome, even if you just watch and hang out and have a good time. I don't care. I think it's all pretty cool. You're all pretty cool. And this has been pretty cool. So, farewell to another series, short though it was a good one. And I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, as always, thanks for playing.